Hey, how you doing? I only have 10 minutes, so I'm just gonna make this real quick. So, here's the thing. Yes, I've been not posting anything on this channel because I consider it as a dead channel slash a channel that could rebuild in something else, which I did. But long story short, I've made a couple things. I made a couple of people angry because of the comments. I made people get a little bit angry about the fact of how I was showing a couple of things that made people not happy, right? And understandably so, I don't care. But it's like the thing is, there was a couple of things I just didn't like doing, and I thought was a bit nonsensical, and just wanted to stop. And also because I just there's a couple of things, but it went to the point where like, okay, at this point, let's just be honest here. No, done. And plus, I had a new channel, which is the Robot Gamer Plays channel. Although even that one, I stopped posting a couple of things for a while because I had a couple of issues. Need to relax and try to figure out things. And one of the many things I need to figure out was this project. But yeah. But for those who are asking, for those who are angry, well, and for those who are asking, well, why you came back in the first place? Well, because I'm going to remake this channel into a filmmaking channel. Now we're weirdly enough starting off back to the thing that I also made a bit of an issue with, in some ways, which is making the first film for this channel a stop motion film because it's the only thing I could actually do it with whatever I have, which I barely have anything to be honest. Imagine making a film with nothing. Like I don't know, it's just impossible. But anyways, I'm starting somewhere, I guess, one way or another. So here we are. So my dream was always to make a film. I always wanted to be doing something, right? To be a director of something. That or voicing. I like voicing characters and just do something for my own image. Hence why I'm doing this. So I'll be explaining what this is about, what the characters are going to be. Most of them. There will be some of them that will not be mentioned in the list, and some are not gonna mention the name as well. There's also a future project which I will mention in a bit after everything I will mention. So let's just get right to the point, shall we? So right out of the gate, the name of the project, the stop motion project, is going to be called Transformers Chaos Unleashed, which is a random name, I guess you could say. But it's a name that a friend of mine just gave it to me, so I just decided to use it. So we're gonna stick with that name, and it is very early in making. Very early. I mean, we barely even started. We got the characters. We have the idea of the voices and how it's gonna be. There's a lot of things we still need to figure out. Um, but it is still possible, if that makes sense, to be made mostly. So the idea is the story. It's after the third movie, if that makes sense. But you could just imagine that it's kind of a different reality. It's very complicated because I kind of what I did is just got it's a mix. So think of like what happens in general. Just think of it after the third movie in some ways, but with the characters being completely different than what you would think. So again, it's an alternate universe. There's a couple of characters that will not be dead. We'll consider that they never died. Uh, Not because it's what I got. And there will be a couple of characters that will look completely different, right? For obvious reasons. And it's kind of like think of a fourth movie in an alternate universe, right? With a couple of things from the fifth movie combined, which we will understand a bit. Um, of course, no humans because stop motion, right? And it will be similar to the fourth movie in terms of how it's going to happen, if that makes sense, with a little bit more stake to the Autobots themselves. You will feel like there's going to be danger more towards them more. And the ones like that are hunting them are obviously their enemy, which is the Decepticons. They'll be hunting them. They'll be getting help from, who would probably prefer to do that type of hunting job, right? Again, it's still in making. The story's still making, but the idea is that in some ways, again, still in making. Um, but anyways, in terms of characters, again, if you think it's gonna be just the fourth movie, kind of, but not exactly. You will see what I mean. Um, because it will also try to connect with the second project, which will happen later on, which will be a really weird mix. But you guys will probably think it's kind of cool, probably better than how the fifth movie of Michael Bay did. But anyways, in terms of characters, though, in terms of the Autobot side of things, we're gonna have Optimus Prime. Because of course we'll have that. There's a funny story for this. So long story short, in terms of the toys, a lot of people are probably gonna talk about this. Can you say you hate buying them whenever you see? Well, fun fact, I do because buying for expensive prices never made sense. They're just plastic things, right? So I decided to go to AliExpress or any other cheaper website and buy it cheap as possible. Half of that worked, half of it didn't for good reasons. You want to buy fake stuff, there's a 50-50 is going to be good and 50-50 is going to be bad, right? So, the only bad thing that happened was the fake Optimus Prime. That's why I had to buy a new one that's original as well. This is the original one. Ended up spending my money. Turns out the KO of Optimus is tall. But yeah, this is going to be the character, right? Voiced by me. I know. What else? We're going to have. Obviously, we have to have him. We're gonna have Bumblebee because by the way, fake version KO, but really decent. Well, if there's a thing and you will notice that it's fake. But does it work? Yes. I didn't even spend that. Actually, it came on a 2 package in one, so I did save up money. Actually, the one that came on the package in one is Hot Rod. Yeah, 2 in 1. Although for a KO is very good. I'm not sure about the plastic build, but it's very good looking, very nice. And again, came with that package, so why not? Hot Rod is gonna be voiced by one of my friends, and then we all have Drift, which again will also be voiced by one of my friends, another friend. So we have him, and then we'll have a completely nonsense for me to do that, but most because I just decided to, well, why would I spend money if I have someone who could pretty much just act like him, and we'll make him a new character. We have this guy. Long story short, I bought him. I have no clue why I bought him. I bought him just because he looked nice. I think it was a long time ago. But he had essentially the same idea of Hound, but just a helicopter, and it looked like a cool guy. I don't know. Don't ask me. We decided to name him Air Raid. He's gonna be the replacement of Hound. Also, I'm trying to think of someone to voice him. I think of getting, but then he will be voicing 2 characters. Again, I already chose who, but I would. Again, I'll mention a bit afterwards. I am thinking of trying to find other people to voice him. But the idea of him is very specific, but kind of cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 Autobots showing up. With a surprising little one that could appear in the end or not. Which we'll talk about later on. In terms of the Decepticon side of things, well, obviously we have Megatron. Now, not Galvatron. Yeah, like I said, completely different. We'll have Megatron. Yes, this is the Last Night Megatron. The reason why it just makes sense. The whole Galvatron era was cool but questionable. And if they just went back to being Megatron in the first place, you could just skip the whole Gravitron stuff. I would probably do the same. And the idea is you could just imagine like this is his original look in some ways or something. Or like remember how No, that will make no sense. Anyways, like I said, it's an alternate universe where this is his original look, no matter what. They're also going to be voiced by me, by the way. And by the way, it's fake. It's a fake version, but it's one of the best fake one I've actually held. It's very good and very well built too. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is metallic or it's very hard plastic. I don't know. Would prefer that he was slightly taller, but I will assume this is like the normal size, and he is good in terms of the size is good, especially comparing to Optimus. So I'm not gonna talk too much. If it was like 1 centimeter taller, might be better. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just not sure. I think it's good. Maybe another fake, but I saved up money anyways. Um, Shockwave. He's a knockoff Shockwave. He's a bit taller, I believe, but it works, and it's one of the best looking one. With the fact that it also feels a little bit cheaper. But again, it's a knockoff. I did save up money though. But yeah, he's gonna be voiced by one of my friends. There's gonna be something I will mention, and it's gonna be related to him. But yeah, it's gonna be part of it. Then after that, we can't forget about the most annoying guy that keeps annoying Megatron no matter what. Starscream. This guy, I want to have. There's a funny story about this guy. This is really an original one. It was out of the box. It was cheap. There's one thing that you kind of understand why it was out of the box and cheap. The arm is broken. It just comes out. I mean, it attaches back mostly. And hey, I mean, if I have a scene where his arm gets cut off, that could be a useful thing, right? But yeah, it's an original one. You can tell by the Decepticon logo, by the way. Save a lot of money on getting something good. Also voiced by me, by the way. I can do a really good Starscream voice. If you guys, check the test film I made, you guys can tell what I mean. And then last but not least, which also going to be voiced by one of my friends, we have Lockdown. This is the only one I wished I might have got the original one instead, because it's a little bit taller than usual. This is a knockoff one, but it's oversized knockoff. Now, when I mean oversized, I mean the same size as the other Decepticons, but it's supposed to be the same size as him, and I end up getting the only one I would say the size doesn't really make sense, but we're just gonna go with it. And again, it is save up money. This is a knockoff version, so yeah. Again, that's good. So yeah, 5 main evil. I don't want to say Decepticons, but I'm not sure if I should keep Lockdowns at Decepticon or not. Kind of a long story. But 4 main Decepticons, 5 main Autobots. All of the Decepticons have an army, which makes sense. So it makes sense. It's a good thing I did, in my opinion. So that's pretty much the characters. Now, for the voices, right? So like I mentioned, there's like 1 or 2 characters I would prefer to have someone else to voice them. And there's a couple of things I would really need, but I'm not sure where to find. So in terms of the voices, I would like to have 1 or 2 extra person to voice a character. Of course, there's a description for the voicing, so anyone that's over 18. I don't want to know. I don't know why I'm gonna say for legal reasons. I mean, I don't think it's necessary to be for legal reasons. It just makes more sense to be 18 because of the voice, right? It's more mature, if that makes sense. And 2, I would like to have a female voice actor actress, because there's a possibility to have a specific female character in the thing. 1 or 2 to be more exact. But it's in a questionable scenario because I don't know where to find one. So if you are a girl or a boy, but again, if you're both and you're interested to play such a specific female character that might happen in the future, or you're interested in playing one of the 1 or 2 characters, maybe even 3 for anyone who's a male there's gonna be actually three. Yeah, I could say three characters that would be necessary. Um, then yeah, maybe more. Who knows? Again, there's a Discord server that I opened just for this. I'm not sure if it's working or not, but I'll be linking in the description down below if you want to, look it up. But yeah. No, what else? Again, the female characters, if we do find someone, then that means the future project that will happen afterwards could happen. So there should be a future after this one. But it's up to how successful this will be, and how this will go on. So yeah, again, we're early in production, really early. Just started on figuring out things. So there's that. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, got nothing else. Like again, it's very early. I can't really think that much. I'm the type of person that just goes with the thing. Like I have the thing. I just do it, right? Um, and I also the type of person that would really need help. I need help for anything. I'm not the type of person that just do things by themselves. I mean, anyone in Hollywood ever, any director, whatever, they usually have people behind, right? That's the thing that's kind of obvious. Like you never do things by yourself. You have people. But unfortunately, we live in a world that's, it's a survival world. You just good luck. Unfortunately, I'm trying to find help. I'm trying to get help. I need help. If anyone's interested, that's great. Even though I'm kind of lacking on equipments too. Would prefer to have a better camera with a better lens. A couple other things. But using what I have. So there's that. Again, I will be adding a couple description with things mentioning the rest. If I don't remember right now, I will mention everything in the description. And I'll be linking the server for. Actually, I remember now. I call it the Robot Film Production Studios. Don't ask why. That's I will copyright that somehow. Maybe not. Actually, maybe I don't know. Anyways, the point is that's the server. It's literally just my studio server. So I'm trying to find people. Anyways, so there's that. So join it. We can test your voice, see how it goes, and that's pretty much it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one, and yeah, I will see you guys in the film. Actually, I will make the film. Hopefully, I make the film. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Bye.